Hey guys, welcome. It's Nikki Free. I come here today to talk to you about Wendy. Wendy Williams is back, you guys. She is back. She's a 100% back. The Wendy that we know, the Wendy that we love, the shady Wendy, the powerful, strong Wendy. She's back. Okay, so let me go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about today's show. For those of you who watch Wendy, I'll try my best not to do too many spoilers, but this may be some spoilers a little bit, but I'm really excited to say that Wendy's back. Okay, so she started out and she was telling us about how she is actually going to be leaving the sober house soon, in a few days. So I know a lot of people were saying that Wendy kind of orchestrated all of this. This was all kind of calculated, the way in which she went about her divorce, etc., etc., etc. I'm not sure. A lot of people were saying that she was using the sober house as a way to kind of get away from her husband. But either way, it doesn't matter. She came on and said that she's leaving the sober house in a few days, and she mentioned how being in the sober house was what helped her to get her life in order. I'm summarizing here. She was saying how when you don't have your phone, your internet, you have time to think about your life and basically, put things in perspective and, get yourself together. Basically, she was insinuating that is why she left her husband, because she had time to really think and also get her mind clear. If she was, drinking or doing any kind of drugs or whatever, I'm sure it was hard for her to make rational decisions. When your mind is clouded with substances, of course, a lot of times you aren't making the best decisions. But for her, since she got sober and was, around people who supported her, it was easier for her to get out of this toxic relationship. All right, so she talked about leaving the sober house, and that was a little drop she gave us, but it was like, oh, Wendy, here we go again. She kept talking about the sober house and how the sober house helped her, but she didn't talk about anything else. So it was just like, okay. So she then made a comment about, because in the house, it'll be just me and my son. And it was like, okay, here we go. And so then she was doing a little bit on Cardi B, and she said, I was so distracted while Cardi was talking, and she talked about this gentleman that was behind Cardi there. She was like, I'm so distracted by this chocolate, man that was behind Cardi. And so they showed a picture of him, and she was like kind of like flirting with the guy through the screen, like pretending like she was talking to him. She said, because I'm on the loose. And the crowd went wild, saying she's on the loose, meaning she's single, she's free to mingle with guys. So that was fantastic. I mean, that was just like, whew, yes, thank you, Wendy. Because she gave the viewers basically what they wanted to hear at that moment. The crowd went crazy. It was great. All right. So then she kind of gave that look like, that shady look like, yeah, I'm giving you guys a little something. And then she proceeded on to tell another story about this lady who, I guess the boyfriend was broke. And she was saying, like, what kind of boyfriend is so broke that he has to borrow money? And then she looked at the crowd. She said, don't look at me. She was like, we're not talking about me. We're talking about this situation. So it was just such a shady way of saying, like, basically in so many words that Kevin was using her money, So you have to watch the show to get to get a clear understanding of what I'm saying. I don't want to give everything away because I know that people actually want to watch the show and some haven't. But basically, yeah, she was throwing a little shade to Kevin on that, saying how, because the woman she was talking about had a lot of money. And then she was with this guy who was trying to basically use her money or borrowed money from her. Anyway, so then she kind of gave that look like, that look she gives like when she's throwing subtle shade. So it was great. It was great. And then she kind of touched on redecorating her bedroom. And then again saying like, it was going to be her and her son, just her son. So basically letting us know that it was just going to be her and her son in her house. And she also said that she made like a pact with her son that she was going to get herself together and, just be there for him and be a support system for him and, just be the mom that he needs in so many words. So that was good. And basically that was her way of saying, like, through the divorce, she is going to be strong and there for her child. So that was really good as well. She also spoke on, let's see, there was a segment on the show, and there was some pots and pans, and she spoke about, she said that it was her segment where where people come on, Rue La La comes on, and they have items for sale at a discounted rate. Well, an item came up and it was pots and pans, and Wendy was like, "Oh, I'm not interested in pots and pans because I'm not cooking anymore. I'm not cooking." And she kind of looked at the camera like, she's not cooking because she doesn't have a husband anymore. Like she doesn't have anyone. She doesn't have to cook anymore because she's not going to be having, the husband. And it's just like all these subtle hints. It was just so great. And it was just fantastic. And then the way she looked at the camera, like to let you know, like that she is not with Kevin anymore. She's not going to be cooking because she's single. And she also mentioned that they were talking about some baby, and I don't remember, but a story came up about a baby. And Wendy said, she was saying how this one lady, she was talking about Vicki Gunderson on The Real Housewives of Orange County. And she was saying how, like, she's not, she's dried up down there. She's not going to be having babies. And then she was like, oh, but no, wait a minute, hold on. Like, she was saying that she didn't mean that in a bad way, because she was like, basically like it's a good thing. She was like, my diaper changing days are over. And then like she like drank her tea. And then, the audience was going crazy because everyone knows that Kevin allegedly has this new baby. And she was like, my diaper changing days are over. Like, letting you know she's not going to have anything to do with that baby. I mean, well, that's what she was insinuating. And then she did the little thing where she pretends like she's smoking a cigarette. And then she threw the cigarette down and spit on it and was like, done. And it was just classic Wendy. And basically, like I said, you guys have to watch to get the whole show. I can't do a video going play by play of the whole show because it'd be way too long. But she did all this subtle shade towards Kevin and the situation, and all while looking just unbothered and looking so peaceful. And you could just, it was just great. Great. I'm so happy she didn't let that situation break her, and she come on stumbling and fumbling because people were watching. She knew that she had to come out and give it today, because this probably was one of her highest rated shows this year, because people are like, wait a minute, last week the divorce was filed, the babe, all this stuff that's been building up, and then of course last week was the divorce was filed, and then before that the baby, all these things are just piling up. So a lot of people were looking for Wendy to come, stumbling and fumbling and falling, but nope, Wendy came back the way she should have. A strong woman who took it, and got back up and did what she needed to do to protect her brand. And I am so proud of her, because you can't let something like that cause you to lose everything you worked so hard for. And I'm sure that's how she felt. Wendy worked very hard for her brand, and it's still strong. So kudos to Wendy. That's all I'm going to say. What an inspiration. That's so fantastic. I love it. I love the show. I have nothing but good things to say about the show. It was great. Check it out if you haven't already. Comment below and let me know what you guys think about the show. Do you think it was great too? Do you think that Wendy revealed enough to let us know what was up? Just let me know what you think about the show. Let me know what you think about the new Wendy coming back. She's leaving the sober house. She wants to spend time with her son and be there for her son, and she's single. So I can just see Wendy out there mingling and dating and just having the best time of her life. And I think that's fantastic. I hope that she has fun and, stays sober and just lives her best life. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. I'll see you next time. Peace.